Good morning. Happy Friday, y'all. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. We made it. Whew. All right. So, y'all, I wanted to check in with y'all on this Friday. And I wanted to ask you a question that I've been asked at different phases of my life and throughout my life. I've had different answers as I've grown. So, a couple years ago, if someone asked me what I wanted for my life, what did I envision for my life? Then I maybe couldn't have articulated it to the point down to the detail. Like, I want it to be like this. I want to have this. I want to experience this. I want this. I want when I do this to make me feel this kind of way. In regards to partners, I want this. I want that. I want this, right? Back then, it may have been more surface level. So if someone asked me, what do you want for your life? Back then, I might have been like, making X amount of dollars, having some financial security, being more stable, probably business wise. Oh, I want to be doing this amount. Like, I want to have this business, maybe not necessarily knowing what the revenue might be. Even in regards to a partner, like, I may not have been able to articulate what was at the top of my list of the things that I wanted, right? As I've gotten older and I've had some life experiences, some ups and some downs, some heartaches, some disappointments, all the things, same as y'all. I what I see for my life is completely different from probably 7 years ago, 8 years ago. Different times, different me, honestly. I would say current day for my life, I have more details as I feel like now I can actually see it. Now it's like a mini movie inside my mind. So at this age, at this stage in my life, if someone recently, my sister actually asked me and say, hey, what do you want? And I was able to say, I have the business, but I want to scale it to this. I have people around me that are knowledgeable in certain things that I'm not, and they add value to me in this way. And I want to be able to take that relationship to the next level. In corporate America, I started out making this, now I'm making this, and my goal is to get here within the next 2 years, right? In regards to a partner, yes. Back then, it was the silly stuff. Oh, I'm number one, so I don't care what he does or whatever case may be. Because I know that all my time, his time, his energy comes this way, even if he out here dibbling dabbling in the streets. And as I've gotten older, that don't work. That don't work, right? So my partner has to have, be loyal to me, also be respectful to me. I need to feel like a priority. I need a partner that I know for a fact that we can grow together, we can start businesses together. We able to communicate with love. Um, they have to be goal oriented, so they got to have their own drive, they got to have their own goals. Like, you can't be out here watching me hustle and bustle and you sitting up here chilling. Like, that doesn't work for me. Those are the type of things that are supersede anything else. It supersede how tall you are, how short you are, how big your feet are, whether or not you got hair, or you got low cut, or you got a baldy. Like, that to me, that doesn't do anything for me, right? So my level of what I need in a person changed. And even at this season in my life, it's important for me to not just talk about what I want, but be detailed in what I see for my life that God has allowed me to envision, right? Because now when I'm talking about it, even the way that I pray is different. Like, it's so visual, it's so detailed, it's so in depth, because I know what it felt like not to have it. So now when I'm speaking about it, I know that those details add value. It adds substance to what I'm seeing, what I'm envisioning. It almost feels like it's right there. Like, it's like I can touch it almost, right? Like, you visualize it. It's so detailed, like to the T with stuff. I want y'all to know that it's important to have the details. It's important to have the details about your life. and what you envision and what God has allowed you to envision in your life, right? Being able to envision it and be very precise about what it is that you want is important, especially when you're praying, especially when you're talking and you're speaking a life over into other people and also into yourself. Being able to articulate that is super important because a lot of people can talk about little things, but if you ask them to go a step further and go further in depth in regards to what it is, they can't really talk about it. Like there's a lot of people like, oh, I want this, but then when they get it, they can't even identify, I can't even recognize that that's what it is. That's because they gave you the answer that they wanted to hear, not necessarily on whether or not that's really what they want. It's a lot of people that can speak to what they've heard other people say that's important, but what is it that you actually want? What is it that you actually need? What is it that you actually envision? Not what you've seen on social media, not what you heard nobody say, but what is it that you want for your life, right? And once you can write that thing down, once you can visualize that thing, once you can pray about that thing and be very specific with God about what it is that you want, what it is that you need, He already know. But you putting a stamp on it by putting it up there, right? Those things are important because as you continue to grow and you start accomplishing those things, you can identify when you've already reached the goal. Because sometimes the things that we be wanting, a lot of times we already be having it. But because we haven't wrote it down in detail on what is priority, what's most important, we missing it. So we could be sitting in and God like, hello, I gave that to you already. Or I already told you no. I already told you that wasn't your person. Or I already told you that business or doing that business idea or that joint venture with somebody wasn't going to work. And you sitting up here asking the same question and He already told you. Right? So the point in saying is, what is it that you want? Really sit with that question, y'all. I think that question is so important, not just from a relationship standpoint, but from a business standpoint. What vision do you have for your life? And understanding the vision that you have for your life comes from a higher power. And lean into that. Write the thing down when you see it. Express it, vocalize it, because people don't really know what you got going on if you don't talk about it. And I'm not saying give it to the people who you know is dream killers. I'm talking to the people that's going to hold you accountable. Because people can't help you in your journey in life if they don't know what you're doing. The ones that care. So be real clear about what it is you want. Sit down. Go in a quiet room. Close the door. Think about it. What do you want? And then once you know what you want, now let's start taking bite-sized pieces on. Now, what actions can I take to get me there? Fair enough? Y'all go be great. Happy Friday. Be productive. Enjoy yourself. Have a good day, y'all. I'm out.